listeners are welcome to listen and learn, but please refrain from transmitting. We encourage respectful discussions on topics such as disaster preparedness, self sufficiency, emergency communication, survival skills, resource management, as well as local, national, and global current events. Your net control station for this net is W5DMH. When checking in, please provide your call sign, your county, and your name. We will be doing a sequential style net, and you'll be called for your traffic in the order you were checked in. Station traffic may consist of local weather, events, or any other topic you would like to bring up and share with the listeners on the net, as well as the status for your particular county. After you get your traffic, please return the net to the NCS station, which again tonight is W5DMH. I will now take short time check-ins. Any short time in and out check-ins, call now. So I'm pretty sure that was W8MMC out there. I couldn't copy you. I could just barely get bits and pieces. I'm still getting a lot of static crashes. I'm assuming you were in and out there. So we're gonna go ahead and see if there are any other regular check-ins for the Midwest Prepper Report Net. Call now with your call sign, your county, and your name to Whiskey 5 Delta Mike Hotel. Boy, if static crashes would count as check-ins, we'd be full up. So I didn't hear any additional check-ins, so we're going to roll it off to the top. So Kilo Echo 8, Echo Mike, Alpha Mike out of Lake County. Mike, can you give us a status for Lake County tonight?
You bet, Dan, and anybody else on the net, Mike and Macosta. This is Kilo Echo 8, Echo Mike Alpha. Mike in Lake County, which is in the northwest quarter of the Lower Peninsula. The county seat is Baldwin, for anybody who's ever been in that area, off M37 north of Grand Rapids. Basically, Dan, nothing, a lot to report, very green up here. Store shelves have what you need. Gasoline is at a reasonable price, especially if you go to a Walmart gas station. They're typically, at least up here, anywhere from 25 to 30 cents a gallon cheaper than almost any other gas station. So when I'm out to the bigger cities, which for me is a 30-mile drive in either north or south, to go to either Big Rapids or Cadillac, it's always cheaper for me to stop at a Walmart gas station. Other than that, the only other odd thing for me personally is common prescriptions that I've been trying to get for weeks are back ordered. I've never had this happen in my years. So I don't know what's going on there. I have had an email today from Meyer up here saying that something is being filled and I can pick it up tomorrow. But there's things that I've waited for at least 2 weeks. For instance, glucose test strips for my mild diabetes. It's been weeks and I'm running out. I don't understand any of that. I've never had these troubles before. But other than that, everything's pretty green, Dan. So I'm going to be in and out tonight, everybody. So I'm going to turn this back over to Net Control, Dan. And I'll hopefully see you all later. Mike, Victor, thanks for checking in early. I'm out.
KEA-DMA from W5DMH. Yeah, your signal came up quite a bit since we were talking 15 minutes ago. Apparently the band is opening up. Maybe the static crashes are starting to back off a little bit, but yeah, better signal. Thanks for that green report for Lake County. Yeah, I'm starting to notice some shortages of stuff as well. We went out for dinner a couple nights ago we went out for breakfast yesterday. That's what it was. And in IHOP, they didn't have waffles. They were out of waffles at IHOP because they weren't receiving shipments on time. It's crazy. We ran into some other shortages in other places too, and it's just becoming kind of odd. Shortages are becoming kind of normal. With that, we're going to go ahead and drop it down to Mike out of Mecosta County, Kilo Delta 8, Yankee Zulu Victor from W5DMH. Mike, what is the status in Mecosta County tonight?
Thanks a lot, Dan. This is Mike in Mecosta, KD8YZV. First of all, Bill, you were hitting me 10 over. I know you're running 500 watts, but you were actually coming in better for a while than Dan, but Dan's signal has come up. Mike's signal strength came up for me, Dan, but I got to tell you, his audio quality went down. The signal crashes in my area were just hammering him really hard for whatever it's worth. I'm going to report light green for my county as usual. Gas prices are stable at around 360 to 380. I've also been asked by Sparky in Montcalm County to pass along a green for Montcalm County. He did text me earlier. And with that, I'm going to send it back to Net Control, W5DMH from KD8YZV.
KD8YZV from W5DMH. Yeah, I still got you at about an S9 mic, but good audio. No problem bringing you in. There's just all kinds of static along with you. Thank you for that light green report from Mecosta County. Glad to hear that, it hasn't gotten worse. I wish it would get better and go back to a full green, but somehow I don't see that happening in the near future. With that, we're going to drop down to Mike out of Kalamazoo County, KE8NLE. He was struggling to get in earlier. I don't know if he was operating mobile or if he was just struggling with what's going on. So let's give him another shot now. Mike, what's the status in Kalamazoo County tonight? Did Mike out of Mecosta County or Bill, anybody else catch that? I can tell he's talking, but I can't pull him in.
Negative. Same thing. I can tell he's talking. That's it. Negative here, Dan. Kate be negative.
KE8NLE, I'm sorry, Mike. We can't seem to pull you in tonight. This is kind of rare. I don't know what's going on there, but between the static and you're really in the weeds tonight, we really can't pull you out. And unfortunately, the other boys can't relay you in. So I'm going to go past you for now. If you get a chance, get into the live chat. W8MMC, I had trouble bringing him in as well, and he got into the live chat, and we'll go to him in a minute. Bill, Macomb County, K8OB. I don't have any problem hearing Bill. What's the status in Macomb County tonight, Bill?
Okay, thanks, Dan, and good evening to everybody on frequency. This is K8OB, Bill in Macomb County. I would have to say everything here is green. I just got gasoline when I returned. I just got back in town here about an hour ago, and I got gas at $33.33 a gallon, and everything seems to be good there. No travel restrictions or anything going on here. As you know, I just got back from Dayton Hamvention, and I would say everything was pretty green in Dayton as well. I didn't see anything abnormal there. Fuel prices were very similar to what they are here in Michigan. We went out to eat whenever we went to get any chow. So I don't know what their grocery situation is there, and I don't know what ours is here either until my wife goes out here. She's getting around out here shortly in a few. But yeah, we had a series of storms blow through here, and I was getting the static crashes. I'm getting them still really bad. So hopefully you guys are copying me. Dan, you're still the loudest. You're about 20 over, pushing 25 over, and then Mike YZV is running a close second, and I can't think of his name out of Kalamazoo. I have no copy on him whatsoever, so I'd have to say everything is green here, and returning from Dayton, everything looked pretty good there as well. So I think that's it, Dan. That's all I got. This is K8OB, back to W5DMH.
K8OB from W5DMH. Well, I got you at 20 over now, Bill. Good signal. Static seems to be dying off for me, at least. I didn't hear very much static at all while you were talking. So, part of that I'm sure is because of your strong signal, but part of it is I think the intensity is it's moved off enough that it's getting out of the area. Yeah, I saw that you were down at Hamvention. Jealous, but Mike KD8YZV and I were talking about that earlier, that neither one of us could afford to go there because we'd end up maxing our credit cards out. It's hard not to spend money down there. So appreciate you joining us tonight and giving us a green for Macomb County. Glad you were able to skirt the storms unscathed. With that, we're at the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the live chat. So we've got Dave and Sonia on the live chat. They did catch my 6 p.m. net, and they were the only ones that caught it, I think, because nobody else checked into that. So they were listening over the air and picked it up. But unfortunately, I had 0 check-ins for the 6 p.m. Local 2-meter net. Thinking to do a GMRS net coming up here soon. As most of you know, I did secure a lease on a 150-foot tower about 5 miles from my house, and I'm going to put up a new antenna, DB408 antenna, which is pretty much the pinnacle of repeater antennas. Should have an outstanding range. Unfortunately, it won't be able to reach Bill, but it'll certainly reach dramatically farther than my current system. And I have linked the GMRS to a statewide system called Michigami with 12 other repeaters, 2 of them in Ohio, 2 of them in Wisconsin, and the rest of them scattered around Michigan and the Lower Peninsula. I think there might be 1 in the UP. But it's kind of neat that you can easily communicate with all these different guys all over the state simply by keying up your HT or your handheld radio. So I really enjoy that. And there'll be more news to come. I'm reporting green for Lapeer County. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I didn't see anything dramatically short at the grocery store, although I am noticing shortages here and there and fronting. Nothing to raise a flag about, still green, but a little bit of a concern. More shortages than we've been exposed to previously. So next up on the live chat, we've got... let's see, we had Dave and Sonia, and they were listening to the 6 p.m. net. They're reporting Lapeer green. Gas was $3.24 the last couple days in Mayville. Excuse me. And then we've got W8MMC. He checked in over the air. Excuse me, but I couldn't really hear him. So he checked in on the live chat as well, and he's reporting green, although storms are coming on Tuesday. And he's saying be safe and 7-3 to everybody. And he said he couldn't hear us either. So maybe he's got some antenna issues going on out that way. KE8NLE is checked into the live chat or the live stream now too as well. And he is in Kalamazoo, and he's using a ramshackle setup, 43-foot wire, 3 feet off the ground. Yeah, it's not really working terribly well, Mike. Maybe next week. And I think he's reporting green for Kalamazoo County, but he can hear everybody good, so that's outstanding. With that, I'm going to throw it back out there for any late check-ins. Any late check-ins, call W5DMH. No late check-ins heard, so we're going to roll back up to the top. Mike out of Lake County, KE8EMA had already exited the building because he was going to do an in and out. We've got Mike in Mecosta County, KD8YZV. Anything additional for the net tonight, Mike?
Thanks a lot, Dan. And once again, good evening to everybody. This is indeed Mike in Mecosta County, call sign KD8YZV. An update on that prepper event I went to today. They call it Middle of the Mitten prepping event. There were approximately 25 to 30 people there. They were talking about growing microgreens and hydroponics. They did talk about ham radio for a little bit, and they did talk about bartering as well. So that was kind of interesting, and they meet every month from May to September, I believe. And next month, I'm being told that Eric from Goshen Prepping will be there, if anybody's familiar with his channel. Dan, Bill, it's always great hearing you because I feel good when I know Macomb County is still there. So I appreciate you coming on here, Bill, quite a bit. Your signal came up quite a bit as well. One of the gentlemen that was at this event had come from Dayton, and he said the crowds were quite large. So I wanted to address to Bill what he thought about the attendance. And Bill, the question is, did the vendors seem to be well supplied? With that, I'm going to send it back to Net Control, W5DMH from KD8YZV.
KD8YZV from W5DMH. Well, thanks for that additional information. And I'm going to pass it straight to Bill, and then I'll circle back for KE8NLE. But Bill, any comments relative to Hamvention?
QSL, Dan, and yeah, I would say attendance. This was my first time going, so I don't know what it was ever like before, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was everything. We're all ham radio enthusiasts, and it was, you had ICOM there, Yezu, and just everybody and everything you can imagine. DX Engineering had a fantastic spread and set up there, and it's nice to be able to get to all the radios that they have set up there and actually, physically play with the things instead of just viewing them online. And I would say the attendance, it was pretty packed. It was pretty packed, and the vendors had a lot to offer. They had, radios. They had when you buy your entrance ticket. That's good for 3 days. It's a $30 pass. It's good for 3 days. So figure, $10 a day, whatever. And then the other half, you can rip it in half and you throw it inside of a barrel, a tumbler that they have in there. And they pick hourly prizes every day. And then they have a grand prize also. So unfortunately, we didn't win any of those, but we did enter that. But it was a good time. Seeing lots of everything you can imagine, ham radio, all the vendors, everybody was there, and I even seen quite a few of the YouTube guys. There's Mike K8MRD from Ham Radio too. I met him there, and there's another guy, N8. I can't think of his call sign now, doggone it. He's out of New York. He does a lot of YouTube videos. Seen quite a few of them guys there. Bumped into them, said hello. Told them I like what they're doing. Keep up the good work with the videos, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And if you've never been, I would recommend at least give it a shot one time. I did. I don't have any regrets. It was a good time, and I was able to be conservative with my money. The only thing I really bought was some T-shirts, some connectors. Yezu was giving away some free hats and stuff like that, and I didn't walk away with any radios, although I did want to. But they had quite a bit out for display, and it's really nice to work them hands-on instead of just viewing them on the internet. So it was cool, man. It was cool. So that's all I got, Dan. Also, Dan, if you ever do get that, like you mentioned, getting a GMRS repeater out in St. Clair County somewhere, I am able to hit the Bell River repeater over there on the ham radio repeater. So I think maybe if it's within a distance of the Bell River hump, that there's a good possibility I could hit the GMRS, and who knows, maybe I might splurge and spend the money and get my GMRS license. And it's all linked. It's just another avenue. So we'll see. Considering what's available right now, I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch with me without having like a Yagi or something. So all I got is a vertical. So we'll see what the future holds there, Dan. And Mike, good to hear you. Both you guys' signals came up pretty good. So and the static crashes seem to have calmed down a little bit. So it's Kato B, back to net.
Kato B from W5DMH. Well, thanks for all that, Bill. Glad to hear a good report on Hamvention. I kind of wish I could have gone, but at the same time, it terrifies me because I tend to be easily parted with my money for something shiny. So, and there's lots of shiny stuff at Hamvention. I'm looking hard at St. Clair County. I want to get the new Mayville Tower up and running. I think that's probably 2 to 3 weeks away before it's operational. And once it's up and operational, then I got 2 different sites to look at over in St. Clair County that I have access to. And I also have a site over in north of Imlay City on kind of a mountain over there, Big Hill, that I may opt for that instead. I'm not sure. Still doing a lot of research, but if I get as far south as St. Clair County and the areas that I'm talking about, yeah, you probably could hit it from your place if I can manage the height that I want to manage. With that, I'm going to throw it back up to Mike out of Kalamazoo County, KEA NLE. You want to give it a shot again?
I have not had a chance to
Well, I was able to copy it a little bit better. I still couldn't out, but I did get better copy. Some of that may be just band conditions opening a less static crash. But sorry, still struggling really hard to pull you out. On the live chat, we do have Sid out of Asante County, Minnesota. He's reporting green gas at $3.09 a gallon. Always jealous of that. Store shelf stock, no issues. He was in Arizona last week. Gas there was as high as $5.49 a gallon. Holy smokes. Wonder why theirs is so much higher. That's crazy. Let's see. Do I have anybody else I got to cover? I don't think I do. So I'm going to throw it out there for any additional comments from anybody on the net. Call now to Whiskey 5 Delta Mike Hotel. Nothing heard, so we're going to go ahead and call the ball, return the frequency back to its previous use, and I'm going to say 7-3, clear the frequency upon your finals. This is W5DMH.
This is KD8YZV, clear out of Mecosta County. Thanks a bunch, Dan. And Bill, you have a great night.
Always good talking to both of you. Clear. Yeah, 73, Dan and Mike, and always good talking to you guys. As usual, you guys' signals definitely come up. And Dan, thanks again always for running the net and being there. So, Skate OB, 73, I'll be clear.